What if a civilization shrouded in the mists of time forged its legacy in stone and left behind colossal reminders of its grandeur? In the heart of Mesoamerica, the Olmecs awakened, their presence as enigmatic as the colossal heads they sculpted, each one a testament to a society whose roots stretched deep into the very soil of history. The Olmec civilization, often heralded as the mother culture of the Americas, arose around 1200 BCE along the lush, tropical lowlands of the Gulf Coast of Mexico, primarily in the present-day states of Veracruz and Tabasco. Here, the land was fertile, nourished by the rivers that snaked through the terrain, providing sustenance and transportation. It was no mere happenstance that they chose this verdant paradise. The Olmecs were astute observers of nature, understanding the delicate balance between the elements. They cultivated crops like maize, beans, and squash, laying the groundwork for the agricultural practices that would define Mesoamerican societies for millennia. As the sun rose above the horizon, casting golden rays upon the dense jungles, the Olmecs began to carve their identity into the stone of their sacred sites. San Lorenzo, one of the earliest centers of Olmec civilization, emerged around 1200 BCE as a bustling hub of activity. Here, among the towering trees and the cacophony of wildlife, artisans and laborers toiled to create monumental sculptures. The most awe-inspiring of these were the colossal heads, some measuring over 10 feet in height and weighing several tons. Each head, meticulously chiseled from basalt, bore distinct features that hinted at the individuals they represented, perhaps rulers, warriors, or gods. The origins of these enigmatic figures remain a subject of fervent debate among scholars. How did the Olmecs transport such massive stones from distant quarries, some located nearly 60 miles away? Some theories suggest the use of rafts along waterways, while others propose a labor-intensive method involving log rollers. Yet the mystery persists, for these questions only deepen the intrigue surrounding the Olmecs' apparent technological prowess. What secrets did they possess that allowed them to achieve such feats? As we delve deeper into the shadows of their history, we encounter La Venta, another significant Olmec site that flourished around 900 BCE. This ceremonial center, adorned with intricate earthworks and vibrant mosaics, served as a focal point for political and religious activities. The Great Pyramid of La Venta, a man-made hill rising majestically from the flat landscape, was not only a testament to Olmec engineering, but also to their cosmology. Its orientation and design reflect an understanding of celestial events, suggesting that the Olmecs were not merely artisans, but also astronomers who observed the heavens with reverence. At La Venta, the Olmecs incorporated elements of their mythology into their monumental architecture. The colossal heads were often aligned with the rising sun or particular constellations, hinting that these figures were not only representations of power, but also gateways to the divine. The jaguar, a central figure in Olmec mythology, symbolized strength and transformation, embodying the connection between the earthly realm and the spirit world. This reverence for the jaguar is evidenced in the numerous jaguar motifs found in Olmec art, suggesting a culture deeply intertwined with the natural world. Moreover, the Olmec civilization was marked by a rich tapestry of social structures and spiritual beliefs. The rulers, likely priest-kings, wielded immense power, their authority derived from both political acumen and spiritual legitimacy. Rituals performed at sites like San Lorenzo and La Venta were essential in maintaining the cosmic order and ensuring agricultural fertility. The Olmecs' understanding of the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth was reflected in their artistic expressions and ceremonial practices, which remain tantalizingly preserved in the remnants of their civilization. Yet, amidst this growing marvel of culture and complexity, there lingered an air of mystery. The reasons for the decline of the Olmecs around 400 BCE remain elusive. Internal strife? environmental changes, or perhaps the rise of rival cultures that overshadowed their once mighty influence. As we gaze upon the colossal heads, we are left to ponder whether these stone sentinels, silent witnesses to their creators' glory and demise, hold the key to understanding a civilization that seemingly vanished, leaving behind only whispers in the wind. And so, dear listeners, we find ourselves at the precipice of an enigma. The Olmecs, with their awe-inspiring artistry and profound spirituality, awaken our curiosity to explore the depths of human creativity and resilience. Those giant heads looming large against the backdrop of history invite us to unearth the secrets of a civilization that shaped the course of the Americas long before the rise of the Aztecs and Maya. What other mysteries lie dormant in the earth, waiting for the touch of a curious hand to reveal the stories of our shared past? In the heart of Mesoamerica, where the verdant jungles cradle the whispers of ancient civilizations, lies the land known as the Olmecs, a name that evokes both respect and enigma. This realm, flourishing around 1200 to 400 BCE, was a cradle of innovation and artistry, where the rubber tree Castilla elastica stood as an emblem of both daily life and sacred ritual. The Olmecs, often regarded as the mother civilization of the Americas, crafted not just monumental heads, but also the very fabric of early Mesoamerican culture. But what do we truly know of their relationship with the rubber tree, and how did it shape their identity? The Olmecs were pioneers in utilizing the rubber tree, extracting its sap to create the first known rubber products in the world. Archaeological evidence from sites like San Lorenzo and La Venta reveals not just the impressive sculptures that towered in their cities, but also the everyday items crafted from this extraordinary material. Rubber balls, used in the sacred ball game that would echo through subsequent Mesoamerican civilizations, had their origins in these very lands, serving as symbols of both sport and ritual, representing a complex intertwining of life, death, and the cosmos. Imagine, if you will, the Olmec people gathering in their thriving urban centers, surrounded by lush forests that echoed with the calls of howler monkeys. The air was thick with the scent of wet earth and the sweet aroma of the rubber tree sap, as artisans dipped their hands into the viscous substance, forging tools, toys, and sacred objects. The rubber, resilient and pliable, spoke to their understanding of transformation, much like the jaguar, a powerful symbol in Olmec mythology which could shift from the mundane to the divine. One can almost hear the rhythm of their lives marked by the thud of balls striking the earth during the ritualistic games played in grand stone courts, such as the one at La Venta, where the echoes of competition mingled with the chants to the gods. The Olmecs believed that through these games they could communicate with the divine, seeking favor and ensuring the fertility of the land that sustained them. Some researchers suggest that the game mirrored the cycle of life itself, with its victories and defeats, a microcosm of the eternal struggle between light and dark. Yet, despite the clarity of their innovations, the Olmecs remain shrouded in mystery. Who were the figures that led this civilization? The archaeological record provides tantalizing clues. One such figure is the enigmatic ruler who presided over the flourishing site of La Venta, a city that thrived around 900 BCE. This urban center, with its ceremonial complexes and colossal stone heads, serves as a testament to the power wielded by its leaders. The largest of these heads, some weighing over 40 tons, likely represented not just rulers, but the divine lineage they claimed through intricate mythologies. But were these rulers mere mortals, or did they possess a sacred connection, embodying the very essence of the jaguar they revered? As we peer deeper into the Olmec world, we find that their mastery of the rubber tree was emblematic of a broader understanding of their environment. The Olmecs were not just artists, they were astute botanists, recognizing the potential of the flora around them. The rubber tree, with its transformative sap, became a conduit for their creativity and spirituality. But how did they learn to tap into this resource so effectively? The answer lies in the oral traditions that likely guided their practices, passed down through generations, though now lost to time. Moreover, the Olmec's connection to the rubber tree extended beyond mere utility. It was a bridge to the spiritual realm. The act of extracting sap was likely imbued with ritual significance, an offering to the gods who governed fertility and growth. In their hands, the rubber transformed into something sacred, a gift from the earth that allowed them to participate in the cosmic dance of creation and destruction. As they crafted rubber objects, they were, in essence, crafting their own narrative within this vast tapestry of existence. Archaeological findings have also hinted at a broader network of trade that may have existed among the Olmecs and neighboring cultures. The Olmec influence spread far beyond their homeland, with rubber artifacts discovered in distant regions, suggesting that their mastery over this material became a currency of power and prestige. The very notion of the rubber people transcended mere nomenclature. It encapsulated a civilization that had harnessed the natural world's gifts to create a complex society rich in art, spirituality, and connection to the earth. Yet, as we stand amidst the ruins of San Lorenzo and La Venta, one cannot help but feel a haunting sense of loss. The very essence of the Olmec civilization, with its profound understanding of the land and the spiritual significance of the rubber tree, seems to slip through our fingers like the sap that once flowed from those ancient trunks. Their legacy, wrapped in the enigma of their colossal heads and the mysteries of their rituals, beckons us to explore further, to uncover the threads of their story still woven into the fabric of Mesoamerican history. For in this land of the rubber people, we find not just the remains of a civilization, but the echoes of a world that once thrived in the lush embrace of the jungle, waiting to reveal its secrets to those who dare to listen. In the dense green embrace of the Mexican lowlands, where the sun dappled the earth in golden hues, the Olmecs carved their legacy not just in the annals of time, but in the very stone that once echoed with the sounds of their civilization. It is within this lush tapestry that we find the monumental enigma of the colossal heads, massive stone carvings that stand as silent sentinels of a time-long past, whispering secrets that historians have yet to fully unravel. Discovered in the mid-19th century, these awe-inspiring sculptures beckon to explorers and archaeologists alike, captivating their imaginations and provoking a flurry of questions that still linger in the air like morning mist. Crafted from basalt, these heads, ranging from 5 to 12 feet in height and weighing as much as 50 tons, are not mere representations of the human form. They are embodiments of power, identity, and perhaps the divine. The first of these monumental heads to be unearthed was at San Lorenzo, an Olmec site that thrived from around 1200 to 900 BCE. The contrast between the rough, unyielding texture of the stone and the intricate details of the facial features speaks to the skill and ambition of the Olmec artisans. Each head displays a distinct visage with unique features, broad noses, full lips, and expressions that seem to gaze beyond the veil of time, hinting at the complexity of the individuals they represent. Who were these figures? Kings, warriors, priests? The mystery deepens with each passing year, as scholars debate the significance of their countenances. Some researchers propose that these heads are effigies of rulers, possibly depicting the lineage of Olmec leadership, while others suggest they may have served a more ceremonial purpose, symbolizing the Olmec connection to the gods or the cosmos. The prominent features, particularly the flat noses and thick lips, are suggestive of a distinct cultural identity, yet they also raise questions of representation and the very nature of Olmec society. As we ponder these questions, the location of the heads offers its own riddles. Found primarily in San Lorenzo and La Venta, The transportation of these massive stone relics from distant quarries reveals a level of organization and technological prowess that astounds modern archaeologists. How did the Olmecs move such immense blocks of stone across the challenging terrain of their homeland? It is here that we encounter a striking paradox. While the Olmecs are often credited as the mother civilization of Mesoamerica, the details of their daily life, their governance, and their technological advancements remain veiled in obscurity. The sheer scale of the colossal head suggests a society with sophisticated engineering and organizational skills. Yet the lack of written records leaves us grappling with an absence of context. Archaeologists like Matthew Sterling, who unearthed many of these statues in the 1940s, were faced not only with the physical remnants of the Olmec culture, but also with the nebulous nature of the civilization that produced them. The site of La Venta, another Olmec stronghold, offers further clues. Here, a rich tapestry of artifacts emerged alongside the heads, ceramics, jade, and intricate sculptures depicting jaguars and other revered creatures. Each artifact contributes to our understanding of the Olmec worldview, revealing a society deeply intertwined with nature and the supernatural. Yet, the colossal heads remain the most striking aspect of their artistry, raising questions not just of purpose but of worship. Were these grand visages erected as part of funeral rites or as markers of sacred space? How did they align with the Olmec cosmology, which revered animals, particularly the jaguar, as sacred symbols? The possibility that these heads served as conduits between the earthly realm and the divine suggests a civilization that viewed its leaders not merely as political figures, but as mediators of cosmic forces. The mystery extends beyond their purpose. The very existence of these colossal heads speaks to an intricate network of trade and communication across ancient Mesoamerica. As the Olmecs thrived, they may have influenced neighboring cultures, their art and ideologies spreading like ripples across the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. The heads, thus, are not only relics of Olmec power, but symbols of an interconnected web of ancient societies, each drawing inspiration from the other. As we delve deeper into the heart of the Olmec civilization, the colossal heads stand as monumental reminders of our own search for understanding. Their silent watch over the land invites us to ponder the stories they could tell, the triumphs, the sorrows, the everyday lives of the people who carved them from the earth. In their stone gazes, we find the echoes of a civilization that, though shrouded in mystery, continues to inspire awe and inquiry in the hearts of those who dare to seek the truth behind the giants of the past. The colossal heads of the Olmecs, more than mere statues, are profound questions carved in stone, waiting for an answer that may still be hidden in the mists of time. In the verdant heart of Mesoamerica, where the rainforests breathe life into the soil and the serpentine rivers twist like ancient tales, lies a story wrapped in the shroud of mystery, a tale of the Olmec civilization, often hailed as the mother of all civilizations in the Americas. Among their many enigmas, none is more captivating than that of the Tomb of the Ancestors, a site that speaks of the grandeur and the eventual decline of a culture that left indelible marks on the fabric of history. As the sun cast its golden rays upon the landscape, it illuminated the site of La Venta, one of the most significant Olmec archaeological zones. Here, colossal stone heads, some weighing over 20 tons, stood sentinel over the remnants of a once thriving metropolis, their gazes piercing through the veil of time. Yet as the dust of centuries settled on these monoliths, it was not merely the heads that whispered secrets to those who would listen. It was the earth itself, concealing beneath its surface the resting place of ancestors revered and feared. In the early 1950s, archaeologists uncovered a remarkable mound at La Venta, designated as Burial Mound 1. As they delved deeper, their tools scratched away layers of soil, revealing not just a grave, but a grand tomb that seemed to transcend the very notion of death. The Olmecs, known for their sophisticated artistry and advanced societal structure, had constructed this site with a purpose that resonated far beyond mere interment. It was a sacred space, a portal to the underworld where the past mingled with the present, and the living honored those who had forged their lineage. The tomb lay in a cryptic arrangement with a series of offerings, jewelry, pottery, and sculpted figures placed with meticulous care around the primary burial. Among these artifacts were intricately carved jade masks, glinting like emeralds in the twilight, believed to be representations of the deceased spirit, guiding them through the afterlife. The presence of these masks hinted at an intricate belief system that bound the Olmecs to their ancestors, a web of respect and reverence that shaped their social structure. The more one possessed in life, the more one was honored in death. This philosophy echoed through the ages, influencing later Mesoamerican cultures. Yet the most enigmatic of all discoveries was the body itself, encased in a stone sarcophagus, the skeletal remains of a figure adorned with the trappings of power. Scholars proposed that this individual was a leader, perhaps a priest-king, whose life was intertwined with the divine. The tomb's opulence suggested not just status, but a spiritual role, an embodiment of the Olmec belief in the cyclical nature of life and death. Here lay a ruler who had orchestrated the grand rituals that reverberated through the Olmec cities, connecting the earthly realm with the celestial. The intricate carvings on the sarcophagus depicted jaguar motifs, symbolizing strength and the connection to the divine, a theme prevalent in Olmec iconography. The site was more than a burial ground. It was a nexus of cultural memory, a place where the past was not just honored but actively engaged with. The Olmecs believed that the spirits of their ancestors lingered, influencing the living in ways both seen and unseen. This idea permeated their society, fueling the creation of art, the performance of rituals, and the construction of monumental architecture. It was as if each stone laid in the tomb echoed the heartbeat of a civilization that thrived on the reverence of its lineage. However, as the sun set on the Olmec civilization, the tomb became a symbol of an era past, a reminder of what once was and what could never be again. The eventual decline of the Olmecs, shrouded in the fog of time, left questions lingering in the air. Was it through conflict with rival cultures, a shift in climate, or perhaps the very act of divinity they sought to control slipped through their fingers like sand? The tomb of the ancestors, while a site of reverence, also became a grave marker of a civilization that, despite its monumental achievements, could not escape the relentless passage of time. Today, as scholars continue to excavate and study La Venta, the whispers of the ancestors beckon from the depths of the earth. The mysteries of their tomb remain only partially unearthed, tantalizingly close, yet frustratingly elusive. The artifacts, the burial practices, and the very structure of the tomb invite inquiry, a reminder that the Olmecs, in their quest for immortality, have left behind a legacy that compels us to ponder our own place in the tapestry of time. Thus, the tomb of the ancestors stands, not merely as a sepulchre of the Olmec elite, but as a testament to the enduring human desire to connect with those who came before. In this sacred space, where the earth cradles the past, the echoes of a civilization once vibrant continue to resonate, challenging us to decipher the enigma of a people who dared to dream beyond the confines of mortality. In the verdant cradle of the Gulf Coast, where the rain-soaked earth yields to the relentless embrace of the tropics, lies a site that whispers secrets of an ancient civilization long obscured by the folds of time. San Lorenzo, the heart of Olmec culture, beckons the curious and the brave, drawing archaeologists and historians alike into its tangled mysteries. A place of power, artistry, and ritual, San Lorenzo stands as a testament to a people whose influence rippled across the vast continent, yet whose origins remain shrouded in enigma. The site, once thriving from around 1200 to 900 BCE, is adorned with colossal stone heads, each an imposing sentinel guarding the wisdom of a lost age. These gargantuan sculptures, some reaching heights of over 10 feet and weighing as much as 40 tons, are carved from basalt, a stone forged in the fiery depths of the earth. Each head, with its unique features and expressions, is thought to represent rulers or important figures, yet their true identities remain cloaked in uncertainty. What stories did these expressions tell? What power did they embody? The unanswered questions linger in the humid air, mingling with the scent of damp earth and ancient foliage. Archaeologist Matthew Sterling first unearthed the site in the 1940s, revealing a complex urban layout with platforms, mounds, and plazas that hint at a sophisticated society. The grandest of these structures, the Great Mound, stands as a testament to the Olmec's architectural prowess. Built with the precision of a people who understood their environment, the mound served as both a ceremonial center and a political stronghold. But how did they transport such colossal stones from distant quarries? Theories abound. Some suggest an intricate system of waterways or simple yet ingenious methods of rolling and dragging. The truth remains elusive, entwined with the very fabric of Olmec ingenuity. Intriguingly, the site also holds evidence of a complex water management system. Canals and reservoirs, skillfully integrated into the landscape, hint at an advanced understanding of hydrology that allowed the Olmecs to thrive amidst the cyclical rhythms of the tropical climate. Yet the purpose of these waterways extends beyond mere survival. They were conduits of power, facilitating trade and communication, and perhaps even serving as a ritualistic pathway, enabling the gods to flow into the hearts of the people. What rituals transpired along these banks, and what offerings were made to appease the spirits that dwelled in the waters? As we delve deeper into the fabric of San Lorenzo, we encounter the enigmatic jaguar motif, a recurring symbol in Olmec art and iconography. This powerful creature, often associated with strength and the underworld, manifests in various forms throughout the site, from intricate carvings to the imposing stone thrones. One cannot overlook the significance of the jaguar in Olmec culture. It was a symbol of duality, both predator and protector, a bridge between the earthly and the divine. What role did this majestic being play in the Olmec's cosmology? Did they see it as a guide through the afterlife, or perhaps as a guardian of their sacred rituals? The whispers of the past linger, tantalizingly out of reach. The discovery of monumental sculptures and the intricate artistry of San Lorenzo left the world questioning the social structure of this civilization. Who commanded the labor force that shaped these stones into works of art? Who directed the flow of resources and the organization of labor? Evidence suggests a stratified society with rulers and priests wielding unprecedented authority, yet the question remains: what led to the rise of this elite class? Was it the divine right of kings, or was it a shared belief in the power of the jaguar and the gods they served? The decline of San Lorenzo, like a fading echo, raises further questions. Around 900 BCE, the site was mysteriously abandoned, its vibrant life extinguished as swiftly as it bloomed. Theories abound. Was it environmental degradation, warfare, or a shift in trade routes that precipitated this fall from grace? As archaeologists sift through the remnants of this once great city, they are left grappling with the shadowy outlines of a civilization that vanished without a trace, leaving behind only whispers of greatness and the scars of its passage. Thus, San Lorenzo remains a riddle wrapped in the mists of time, a monument to the Olmecs, the mother civilization of the Americas. Their legacy lives on in the colossal stone heads that silently watch over the remnants of their creators, each one an unsolved enigma, urging us to peer deeper into the past and unravel the mysteries that still echo from the depths of ancient history. The Olmecs, with their extraordinary achievements and profound connections to the cosmos, remind us that the quest for knowledge is as enduring as the stones they left behind. In the cradle of Mesoamerican civilization, where the lush verdure of the Gulf Coast meets the winding rivers, a ritual unfolded that transcended mere sport. It was a spectacle of power, spirituality, and community, echoing through the ages like the reverberations of a great drum. The Olmecs, who would become the mother civilization of the Americas, engaged in a sacred ball game that would not only shape their society, but serve as a harbinger of the cultural legacy that would permeate the continent. At the heart of this ritual lay the game of Olmec, a term that resonated with the very essence of the Olmec spirit. Played with a heavy rubber ball, it was a test of skill, strategy, and endurance. The courts themselves were architectural marvels, often built in the shape of an elongated eye lined with stone walls and adorned with elaborate carvings. Archaeological excavations at sites like San Lorenzo and La Venta have revealed the remnants of such courts, where it is believed that the Olmecs gathered not merely for competition, but for a convergence of the earthly and the divine. In the shadow of the colossal head statues, monolithic sentinels that gazed upon the players with an inscrutable expression, the ball game took on a metaphysical significance. It was a reenactment of the cosmic struggle between life and death, light and darkness, a reflection of the Olmec belief in duality that permeated their existence. The rubber ball itself, derived from the sap of the rubber tree, symbolized both the bounty of the earth and the potential for destruction. The act of propelling the ball through the air was akin to sending prayers to the heavens, a plea for favor from the deities who governed their fates. As the players donned their protective gear, they became avatars of their gods, channeling the spirits of jaguars and serpents. To understand the Olmec ball game is to delve into their pantheon, where gods like the feathered serpent and the Earth Lord intertwined with the lives of mortals. The game was steeped in ritual, often commencing with elaborate ceremonies that involved offerings of food, incense, and even blood, wherein elite players might willingly sacrifice their own vitality to appease the divine. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Olmec ball game was the role of the spectator. The crowd that gathered around the courts was not merely there for entertainment. They were participants in a communal rite. The cheers and chants of the onlookers reverberated through the air, creating a palpable energy that intensified the stakes of the game. It was a momentary escape from the rigors of daily life, a spectacle that united the community in a shared belief that transcended individual existence. Yet the ball game also served a darker purpose. It was a means of asserting dominance, a display of social hierarchy where the victor could claim not just glory but political power. The Olmecs, with their complex societal structure, understood that the outcome of the game could influence alliances and rivalries, shaping the very fabric of their civilization. In the realm of the sacred, the game had the power to forge and fracture bonds, echoing the tumultuous nature of human relationships. The archaeological site of La Venta, with its grand earthen mounds and intricate sculptures, offers a glimpse into the ceremonial aspect of the ball game. Here, the remains of a ball court have been unearthed, and while the stones are silent, they whisper tales of the past. Explorations of this ancient site have unveiled artifacts that suggest ritualistic practices intertwined with the game, figurines, pottery, and even remnants of woven garments that adorn the players. These finds hint at an elaborate world where sport and spirituality were inseparable, a world where every bounce of the ball echoed with the breath of the ancestors. Yet, despite the wealth of evidence, many mysteries remain. What precisely were the rules of the Olmec ball game? How did it evolve into the various renditions seen in later Mesoamerican cultures? The glyphs that remain from this era offer tantalizing clues, yet they remain largely undeciphered, leaving historians to ponder the depths of Olmec ingenuity and the complexity of their games. As we stand on the precipice of understanding, the legacy of the sacred ball game beckons us to peer into the shadows of our past. The Olmecs, with their enigmatic culture and monumental artistry, have left us with an enigma wrapped in the vibrant energy of their rituals. The ball game was not merely a contest of physical strength. It was a profound expression of identity, a ritual that encapsulated the essence of what it meant to be Olmec. In the echoes of their chants, in the rhythms of their games, the Olmecs invite us to explore a world where life was celebrated, contested, and ultimately transformed. The sacred ball game stands as a testament to their enduring legacy, a whisper from the ancients that calls us to remember, to wonder, and to seek the truths hidden within the layers of time. In the lush lowlands of Mesoamerica, where the verdant vines entwine with ancient stone, the echoes of conflict reverberated like distant thunder. The Olmecs, often revered as the mother civilization of the Americas, stood at the crux of an unfolding drama, rich with ambition, power, and rivalry. The colossal heads of San Lorenzo and La Venta, with their enigmatic gazes, silently witnessed this tumult, their stone visages carved during an era when the seeds of civilization were sprouting fiercely from the earth. For centuries the Olmecs flourished, their society, a tapestry woven from the threads of trade, agriculture, and religious fervor. However, beneath the surface of their achievements lay the undercurrents of tension, as rival groups began to emerge from the mists of time. The rise of the Olmecs did not go unchallenged. Neighboring tribes, drawn by both envy and aspiration, sought to carve their own destinies in this burgeoning world. The first whispers of conflict reached us through the murky depths of time as archaeologists unearthed the remnants of settlements like Tres Zapotes, where evidence of violent encounters lay intermingled with artifacts of daily life. The Olmecs, while formidable in their own right, faced rivals like the Mixozoqueans, who inhabited regions to the northwest. Terracotta figurines and shards of pottery uncovered in the region suggest a society equally rich in culture but fraught with tension. Fragments of their stories hint at skirmishes over territory and resources, the shadows of which would loom large in the annals of Olmec history. The sacred ball game, a ritualistic sport steeped in both reverence and competition, became a focal point of these rivalries. Played with a rubber ball, its origins traced back to the Olmecs. The game served as both a showcase of physical prowess and a means of settling disputes. The ball courts found in San Lorenzo and La Venta bore witness not only to athletic feats, but also to the intricate dance of diplomacy and aggression that defined Olmec interactions with their rivals. It was said that the winners were often seen as champions of the gods, their victories celebrated with fervent rituals, while the vanquished faced humiliation. As the Olmecs expanded their influence, so too did their enemies adapt, leading to an arms race of sorts. Archaeological evidence from the site of La Venta reveals a striking shift in weaponry and fortifications, suggesting a society preparing for larger-scale confrontations. The Olmecs, with their advanced knowledge of metallurgy, began crafting tools and weapons that surpassed those of their contemporaries. Yet, it is a mystery as to how these innovations were utilized against their rivals. Were they instruments of defense or tools for conquest? One cannot speak of Olmec conflict without delving into the lore surrounding their rulers. The enigmatic figure of a priest-king, perhaps a man named the Jaguar, emerges from the shroud of history. He was said to possess a lineage that traced back to the gods, a divine right that both legitimized his rule and fueled the enmity of rival factions. The jaguar, a symbol of power and ferocity, became synonymous with the Olmec kings, who might have invoked its spirit in times of war. Yet the truth of his reign remains elusive, lost in the whispering leaves of the past. The Olmecs were not merely passive observers in this theater of conflict. They were strategists, using both diplomacy and subterfuge to maintain their dominance. The discovery of ceremonial sites like the enigmatic La Venta suggests that they engaged in rituals designed to appease not only the gods, but also their neighbors, crafting a veneer of tranquility amidst the brewing storms. There, the ceremonial offerings, jade, obsidian, and even the remains of sacrificial animals, tell tales of both reverence and caution as the Olmecs walked the fine line between peace and war. Yet, as time wore on, the echoes of conflict grew louder, reverberating through the dense jungles and across the sprawling trade routes that connected them to the vast network of Mesoamerican societies. The rise of the Teotihuacan and later the Maya would overshadow the Olmecs as their advances in architecture, agriculture, and warfare seeped into the Olmec heartland. Evidence suggests that the Olmecs, faced with increasing pressure, began to retreat into the sacred spaces of their cities, their monumental constructions standing as both a testament to their past glory and a fortress against encroaching rivals. As we peer through the veil of time, the mysteries of the Olmecs and their conflicts unravel, revealing a civilization that thrived amid strife and competition. They, too, were shaped by the very rivalries that threatened to consume them, leaving behind a legacy etched in stone and whispered in the winds of the past. The colossal heads, silent sentinels, continued to guard their secrets, reminding us that while the Olmecs may have vanished from the pages of history, their echoes linger still, tantalizingly close, yet eternally out of reach. In the verdant jungles of Mesoamerica, where the air thrums with the whispers of ancient spirits, the Olmec civilization once thrived, cradling secrets in the folds of its monumental landscapes. Among these mysteries lay the pantheon of deities that echoed through the hearts of its people, a divine lineage woven into the very fabric of their existence. As we delve deeper into this enigmatic world, we uncover not only the gods they revered, but the profound connections to the cosmos that shaped their society. The Olmecs, often hailed as the mother civilization of the Americas, possessed an intricate belief system that transcended mere superstition. Their gods embodied natural forces, anthropomorphic beings, and mythical creatures, each representing a facet of life and death, creation and destruction. Among the most revered was the jaguar, a powerful symbol of strength and the mystical, an essence embodied in the Olmec deity known as the were-jaguar. The imagery of the were-jaguar, with its feline features and human traits, reflects the Olmec's understanding of the duality of existence, a theme prominent throughout their art. Emerging from the shrouded past, the colossal stone heads standing sentinel over the landscape offer more than a testament to Olmec craftsmanship. They are believed to be representations of rulers or deified ancestors. Each head, carved with striking features, tells a story of lineage and power, linking the earthly with the divine. Archaeological finds at La Venta, where the largest of these heads reside, reveal ceremonial altars and offerings, hinting at a sophisticated ritualistic practice aimed at appeasing these higher powers. The site itself, a nexus of spiritual activity, pulsates with the energy of generations, committed to honoring their gods. As we walk through the remnants of La Venta, our imagination is ignited by the haunting echoes of ritual ball games played in honor of the deities. The Olmecs participated in these contests not merely for sport, but as a means to connect with their divine lineage. The sacred ball game, a practice that spread throughout Mesoamerica, is believed to symbolize the struggle between life and death, a reflection of the cyclical nature of existence. The sacrifices made at the end of these games often served as offerings to the gods, reinforcing the bond between the Olmecs and the divine forces they revered. Yet the mystery deepens when we consider the parallels between Olmec gods and deities from later Mesoamerican cultures. The were-jaguar, for instance, finds echoes in the later feathered serpent deity, Quetzalcoatl, whose influence stretched across centuries and civilizations. This continuity raises questions about the transmission of religious ideas and symbols throughout Mesoamerica. Were the Olmecs merely the architects of a foundation that other civilizations would build upon? Or did they establish a unique spiritual cosmology that echoed through time? Archaeological discoveries at sites like San Lorenzo further illuminate this divine tapestry. The discovery of intricately carved stone thrones and altars suggests that leaders may have acted as intermediaries between the gods and the populace. The rulers, often depicted in the attire of the were-jaguar, positioned themselves as divine figures, blurring the lines between mortal and deity. This merging of identity served to consolidate power as leaders claimed descent from the divine, ensuring their authority was both recognized and revered by the people. Moreover, the Olmec's artistic expressions convey their reverence for the cosmos. The celestial alignments found in their ceremonial sites hint at an astrological knowledge that was both advanced and mysterious. The Olmecs crafted their sacred spaces with an understanding of cosmic cycles, solstices, equinoxes, and lunar phases, tying their religious practices to the movements of stars and planets. Such awareness of celestial rhythms may have informed their rituals, connecting the earthly realm to the heavens in an intricate dance of devotion and understanding. Yet, despite the wealth of evidence, the exact nature of Olmec religious beliefs remains elusive. The glyphs and symbols found in their art, though rich in meaning, resist a singular interpretation. The decrypting of these glyphs has proven a tantalizing challenge to archaeologists and scholars, offering tantalizing glimpses into their worldview, but rarely yielding definitive answers. The ambiguity of their religious texts mirrors the enigma of the Olmecs themselves, a civilization that, despite its profound influence, continues to elude complete understanding. As we ponder the divine lineage of the Olmecs, we are left with more questions than answers. What drove these ancient people to create such monumental representations of their gods? How did their beliefs shape their society, and what remnants of their spirituality linger in the echoes of later civilizations? The Olmec pantheon, with its jaguars, celestial bodies, and enigmatic glyphs, remains a captivating mystery, a window into a world where the divine and the earthly intertwined in ways that still resonate with the heart of Mesoamerica today. The legacy of the Olmecs, wrapped in the mists of time, beckons us to continue our search for understanding, for within their mysteries lies the story of humanity itself. In the heart of the ancient Olmec civilization, where the sun cast long shadows over the lush green expanse of Mesoamerica, there lay a secret hidden beneath the tangled roots of time, a secret entwined with the very essence of communication, power, and identity. Here, in the realm of the Olmecs, the art of writing emerged not merely as a tool for record-keeping, but as a sacred act, an intimate communion with the divine and the ancestors. It is in the sprawling archaeological site of La Venta, one of the greatest Olmec cities, that we find ourselves drawn into the enigma of their glyphs. The site, dating back to around 900 BCE, is a treasure trove of monumental architecture and intricate artistry. Among the basalt altars and colossal heads lies an assemblage of artifacts that hint at the Olmecs' profound understanding of symbols and their meanings. The most tantalizing of these are the carved stelae, massive stone slabs inscribed with glyphs that whisper secrets of a bygone era. One such stela, known as Stela I, stands sentinel over the ruins, its surface etched with glyphs that have confounded scholars for centuries. Each curve and contour of the script is steeped in mystery, and while some researchers have made headway in deciphering these symbols, many remain elusive, their meanings shrouded in the mists of antiquity. The glyphs, with their intricate designs, may represent not just words, but concepts and ideologies central to Olmec life, myths, royal lineage, and perhaps even their cosmological understanding of the universe. As we delve deeper into the Olmec world, we encounter the figure of the shaman priest, a pivotal character whose role was intertwined with the glyphic tradition. It is believed that the shamans, revered for their connection to the spiritual realm, were the primary scribes of their time, wielding the power of the written word to inscribe their visions and revelations. Ancient texts, though scarce, suggest that these sacred individuals held the keys to knowledge, inscribing not just mundane affairs, but the very fabric of Olmec identity and belief. The glyphic system itself, while not as extensively developed as later Mesoamerican scripts, was among the earliest forms of writing in the Americas. Scholars propose that the Olmecs laid the groundwork for subsequent civilizations, including the Maya and the Aztecs, who would later refine and expand upon these glyphs. Notably, some of the symbols found in Olmec inscriptions bear striking similarities to those used by the Maya, suggesting a shared cultural lineage or influence. The glyphs may have served as a means of unifying disparate tribes under the overarching Olmec influence, a language that transcended regional dialects, fostering communication and cohesion. Yet, it is not merely the written word that captivates the imagination. It is the very act of writing itself. In Olmec society, the creation of glyphs was likely perceived as a sacred practice, akin to a ritual. The materials used, jades, ceramics, and stone, were imbued with their spiritual significance, and the act of carving these symbols was perhaps viewed as a dialogue with the cosmos. This reverence for writing may explain the eventual decline of the glyphic tradition. As the Olmecs faded into history, their writing became an enigma lost to the passage of time, but imbued with an enduring mystique. Archaeological expeditions have unearthed fragments of pottery adorned with glyphs, remnants of a civilization that sought to document their myths and daily life. One such vessel, found in the shadow of the colossal heads, depicts a jaguar, a creature of immense symbolism in Olmec lore, accompanied by mysterious inscriptions that hint at rituals or stories long forgotten. These artifacts transport us to a time when the Olmecs were not merely a people of stone and earth, but a society that sought to articulate its soul through symbols, drawing connections between the earthly and the divine. The quest to unlock the Olmec glyphs continues to intrigue historians and linguists alike, each new discovery promising to illuminate aspects of their culture that are still enshrouded in mystery. With every fragment unearthed, we inch closer to understanding not just the Olmecs, but the very nature of human expression itself, how we weave our narratives, how we encode our histories, and how we attempt to capture the ephemeral nature of existence in symbols that transcend time. In the end, the Olmec glyphs remain an unsolved riddle, their secrets calling to us from the distant past, asking us to listen, to interpret, and perhaps to understand that the art of writing is not just a means of communication, but a profound manifestation of humanity's eternal quest for meaning. As we stand amidst the ruins of La Venta, surrounded by the echoes of a civilization long gone, we cannot help but feel the weight of those ancient inscriptions, whispering tales of gods, rulers, and the intricate tapestry of life woven by the Olmecs, the very mother civilization of the Americas. In the heart of Mesoamerica, where the verdant jungles entwine with whispers of the past, the Olmec civilization thrived, steeped in enigma and mystique. Their legacy, etched in colossal stone heads and intricate jade carvings, forms a tapestry woven with the threads of power, ritual, and transformation. Central to this tapestry was the jaguar, a creature embodying might and mysticism, whose presence loomed large over the Olmec spiritual landscape. Within the sacred precincts of La Venta, an Olmec site that emerged as a ceremonial hub around 900 BCE, archaeologists have unearthed evidence of jaguar worship that transcended mere reverence. The site, with its grand earthen mounds and carefully arranged plazas, served as a canvas for the Olmec's complex belief system. It is here that we find the enigmatic Altar 4, a stone platform adorned with a jaguar motif. This altar, interpreted through the lens of ritual, hints at the transformative ceremonies that took place beneath the watchful gaze of the jaguar, ceremonies that were likely steeped in the blood of sacrifice and the fervent chants of priests invoking the spirit of the beast. The jaguar was not merely an animal, it was a conduit between the earthly realm and the divine. Linked to the underworld and the cosmos, it symbolized power, ferocity, and the duality of life and death. The Olmecs believed that to don the skin of the jaguar was to don its power, a transformation that could elevate a mere mortal into a figure of divine authority. Evidence from the site suggests that elite members of Olmec society engaged in jaguar-themed rituals, donning elaborate costumes adorned with jaguar imagery, perhaps even using hallucinogenic substances to facilitate a communion with the divine. These practices echo through time, resonating with the transformative rites of other ancient civilizations. Yet the precise nature of the Olmec rituals remains shrouded in a veil of mystery. One cannot recount the Olmec jaguar rituals without mentioning the figure of the shaman, a pivotal role within this civilization. Often depicted in Olmec art as a half-jaguar, half-human entity, these shamans served as intermediaries between the two worlds. They were the orchestrators of transformation, guiding their people through the liminal spaces of ritualistic transcendence. The Olmecs believed that through the shaman's mastery of the jaguar's essence, they could harness its power to heal, to combat enemies, and to commune with the ancestors. The shaman's journey into the spirit world is echoed in the jaguar's own nocturnal prowling, a symbolism of the quest for knowledge hidden in the darkness. Archaeological evidence from San Lorenzo, another Olmec site, reveals a fascinating interplay between the jaguar and the elite ruling class. Giant stone sculptures, some depicting jaguar motifs, serve not only as artistic expression, but as powerful symbols of political authority. The rulers, much like the jaguar, were expected to embody strength and resilience, ruling with an iron fist while also providing for their people. These colossal sculptures, believed to be representations of the rulers themselves, reveal the duality of Olmec kingship, an intertwining of power rooted in both the terrestrial realm and the spiritual domain. As we delve deeper into the ritualistic significance of the jaguar, the echoes of its power resonate in the Olmec calendar, which aligned sacred time with the cycles of nature. The jaguar, often associated with the jaguar god, was central to Olmec cosmology, a harbinger of the rains and the fertility of the earth. Rituals invoking the jaguar were likely timed with the agricultural calendar, ensuring a bountiful harvest while appeasing the spirits of the land. Each jaguar-themed ceremony was a reaffirmation of the Olmec's connection to nature, a reminder of the delicate balance between humanity and the wild forces of the universe. Yet, amid this rich tapestry of jaguar worship and ritual, the question lingers: what ultimately happened to the jaguar cult as the Olmec civilization began its decline? By the time La Venta was abandoned around 400 BCE, the rituals surrounding the jaguar had begun to transform, reflecting the shifting tides of power and belief systems. The jaguar's fierce persona, once a symbol of undisputed authority, began to fade, overshadowed by emerging cultures that would inherit the Olmec legacy. In the shadow of the great stone heads and the lush canopies of the ancient jungles, the jaguar remains a potent symbol of transformation, a guardian of mysteries yet to be unraveled. The Olmec rituals, steeped in the spirit of this mighty feline, invite us to ponder the nature of power and its ephemeral grasp on humanity. As we trace the echoes of the Olmec civilization, we find that the jaguar, with its enigmatic gaze, continues to watch over the realms of history, a timeless reminder of the balance between life, death, and the transformative power of the unknown. In the lush lowlands of Mesoamerica, where the echoes of nature seem to harmonize with the whispers of ancient souls, the Olmecs carved their legacy into the fabric of history. To comprehend the enigma of this civilization, one must peer into the intricate tapestry of its political landscape, a realm where kings and priests wielded power, not merely through might, but through a profound connection to the divine and the very land itself. The Olmec civilization, widely regarded as the mother culture of Mesoamerica, flourished between 1200 and 400 BCE. Its heart pulsed in the ceremonial centers of San Lorenzo and La Venta, where colossal stone heads, monumental altars, and intricate carvings depicted a society steeped in ritual and governance. Each colossal head, some weighing as much as 40 tons, not only represented the ruling elite, but also served as a testament to their divine mandate. These were not mere statues. They were embodiments of power, each one a silent sentinel that bore witness to the political machinations of a time shrouded in mystery. The rulers of the Olmecs, often thought to be priests as much as kings, held an ambiguous position within their society. They were believed to be intermediaries between the gods and the people, a duality that granted them unparalleled authority. Archaeological findings suggest that the Olmec elite practiced a form of theocracy, where religious and political spheres intertwined seamlessly. The first known ruler, often referred to as the Lord of San Lorenzo, is thought to have been a pivotal figure, not only for his military conquests, but for his ability to manipulate celestial events to legitimize his reign. But the question remains, what evidence supports this intricate power dynamic? Recent excavations at San Lorenzo have unearthed a network of platforms and ceremonial structures, indicating that public displays and rituals played a crucial role in maintaining order and allegiance among the populace. The grandeur of the site itself speaks volumes. Large plazas, complex drainage systems, and expertly crafted sculptures suggest not only a sophisticated understanding of urban planning, but also a society that thrived on the spectacle of power. As we traverse the annals of Olmec history, we encounter the enigmatic figure of the Jaguar Priest, a title that evokes both fear and reverence. This priest, believed to have held significant sway over the populace, was depicted in various artifacts adorned with jaguar motifs, symbols of strength and ferocity. The jaguar, revered in Olmec culture, was more than a mere animal. It was a conduit of spiritual power. The jaguar priest's ability to channel this essence likely fortified his influence over the rulers, creating an intricate web of alliances and rivalries that defined Olmec governance. Yet, beneath the veneer of unity, the Olmec political landscape was fraught with tension. Evidence from La Venta suggests a fractured society, with power struggles not just among local rulers, but also among emerging factions. The ritual ball game, a blood sport that transcended mere entertainment, served as a battleground for these conflicts. Artifacts from the site illustrate scenes of players adorned in elaborate regalia, while the outcome of matches was thought to reflect the favor of the gods. It is within these games that political alliances were forged and rivalries ignited, often culminating in sacrifices that further intertwined the fates of the living and the divine. The influence of Olmec rulers extended beyond their immediate territories, as evidenced by artifacts discovered in regions far removed from their core. Trade networks flourished, with jade, obsidian, and other goods flowing between the Olmecs and neighboring cultures. This not only indicates economic prowess, but also highlights a political strategy that relied on diplomacy and trade to assert dominance. Kings like the Lord of La Venta, whose reign was marked by monumental constructions, understood that wealth was not merely a means to an end, but a tool to solidify power. However, as with all great civilizations, the seeds of decline were sown in the very fabric that once held them together. The intricate balance of power began to unravel, giving way to internal strife that would fracture the Olmec hegemony. The enigmatic disappearance of major ceremonial centers like San Lorenzo hints at a cataclysmic shift, possibly driven by rival factions seeking to usurp power. The grand stone heads that once stood as symbols of authority now serve as ghostly reminders of a civilization that grappled with its own complexities. As we stand amidst the ruins, the silent sentinels gaze back at us, their expressions caught between triumph and despair. The Olmec civilization, with its kings, priests, and the relentless pursuit of power, offers a profound lesson on human nature, a reminder that the thirst for dominion, intertwined with spirituality and culture, can both uplift and unravel the very foundations of society. In the shadows of their legacy, we find ourselves confronted by the enigma of their existence, a riddle that continues to elude the grasp of time, leaving us forever intrigued by the giants who once walked the land. In the humid embrace of the tropical lowlands of present-day Mexico, where emerald canopies shield secrets older than time, the Olmecs etched their legacy into the very fabric of civilization. They were not merely artisans of stone and clay, they were the architects of time itself. And within their grasp lay an intricate calendar that has echoed through the centuries, illuminating the paths of those who came after them. At the heart of this enigma lies the ancient site of La Venta, a revered center of Olmec culture. It was here, amidst the sprawling mounds and ceremonial altars, that the Olmecs fashioned a calendar that would not only dictate their agricultural practices, but also serve as a celestial compass for their rituals and daily lives. This calendar was not merely a tool for tracking days. It was a cosmic dance, a reflection of their deep connection to the cycles of the cosmos and the earth. Archaeologists have unearthed remnants of the Olmec calendar in the form of artifacts and inscriptions that hint at a sophisticated understanding of time. The Olmecs divided the year into distinct periods, marked by the phases of the moon and the positions of the stars. They honored the jaguar, a symbol of power and the underworld, as well as the maize god, whose cycles dictated the rhythm of planting and harvest. Each glyph carved into stone seemed to pulse with life, a testament to their reverence for the natural world. Yet the question remains, how did the Olmecs acquire such profound knowledge? Some scholars propose that their understanding of astronomy was a product of long-range observation, while others suggest that they may have inherited or developed complex mathematical systems that allowed them to predict celestial events. The Olmec's calendar was not static. It evolved, intertwining with their spiritual beliefs and societal needs, becoming a living entity that shaped their destiny. As the sun set over La Venta, its rays casting elongated shadows across the colossal heads, the Olmecs would gather, their voices rising in chant and prayer. They would consult the calendar, aligning their agricultural endeavors with the sacred cycles inscribed within. Each planting season was a ritual, and each harvest a celebration, firmly rooted in their understanding of time's passage. The calendar served as a reminder of the transient nature of existence, a cycle that intertwined birth, life, death, and rebirth. However, the true enigma lies in the legacy that the Olmec calendar bequeathed to future civilizations. With the rise of the Maya and later the Aztecs, this early chronicle of time would ripple through the ages, becoming a foundational pillar of Mesoamerican culture. The Mayan calendar, often lauded for its complexity, bears striking similarities to the Olmec model, suggesting a line of continuity that stretches back to this mother civilization. It is a tantalizing thought. Could it be that the Olmecs, in their quiet yet powerful way, orchestrated the very fabric of Mesoamerican timekeeping? In the realm of archaeology, the Olmec calendar remains shrouded in mystery. Scholars have yet to fully decipher the glyphs that accompany the calendar's dates and the lack of extensive written records only deepens the intrigue. The Olmecs left behind no monumental texts proclaiming their understanding. Instead, they entrusted their knowledge to the soil and the stars, embedding it into the landscape. The calendar, much like the colossal heads, stands as a silent testament to their brilliance, waiting patiently for us to unlock its secrets. As we delve deeper into the remnants of Olmec civilization, we discover the profound influence of their temporal understanding on their architecture and urban planning. The orientation of their pyramids and plazas appears meticulously aligned with celestial bodies, suggesting that the Olmecs were not merely passive observers of the heavens, but active participants in a grand cosmic narrative. They constructed their world with an awareness of the cycles of time, weaving their existence into the fabric of the universe. Even today, as modern-day scholars sift through the layers of soil and time, the Olmec calendar continues to inspire wonder. It serves as a reminder of humanity's eternal quest to comprehend the cosmos, to find meaning in the passage of days and seasons. The legacy of the Olmec calendar is not confined to the pages of history. It reverberates in our own lives, where calendars dictate our schedules, our celebrations, and even our dreams. Yet, the final mystery endures. What drove the Olmecs to develop such a profound understanding of time? Was it a divine revelation, or perhaps a necessity born from the land itself? As we gaze upon the remnants of their civilization, the colossal heads, the ceremonial sites, and the whispers of ancient glyphs, we are left with more questions than answers. The Olmecs, shrouded in the mists of time, remain an enigmatic mother civilization, their calendar, a key to understanding the intricate dance between humanity and the cosmos. The quest for answers beckons us, inviting us to explore the shadows where the past and present intertwine, forever echoing the rhythms of the universe. In the verdant cradle of the Gulf Coast, where the air hangs thick with the scent of damp earth and rich foliage, lies La Venta, a city wrapped in the enigmatic whispers of time. Here, the Olmecs carved a legacy so profound that it would echo through the annals of history, yet its secrets remain shrouded in mystery, waiting for intrepid souls to unravel them. As we venture into this ancient site, we are drawn into a narrative woven with the threads of discovery, artistry, and the profound connection between humanity and the cosmos. La Venta, flourishing around 900 to 400 BCE, is one of the most significant Olmec centers, a city defined not just by its impressive monuments, but also by its complex society. The centerpiece of this great metropolis was a grand mound, a pyramid-like structure known as the Great Pyramid, which rose majestically from the landscape, a beacon of power and spirituality. Archaeologists such as Matthew Stirling, who first excavated La Venta in the late 1930s, unearthed artifacts that hinted at the city's grandeur, a testament to the Olmecs' sophisticated understanding of architecture and their profound connection to the divine. But it is the colossal heads, those monumental expressions of Olmec identity, that captivate our imagination. Crafted from basalt and weighing several tons, these enigmatic effigies are believed to represent rulers or revered ancestors. Their features etched with an artistry that speaks of a civilization both advanced and deeply spiritual. Each head, with its unique facial characteristics, evokes the question, who were these giants in stone, and what stories do their solemn visages hold? Did they gaze upon the bustling life of La Venta, their expressions chronicling the ebbs and flows of power, worship, and conflict? As the sun rises over the city, illuminating the remnants of a once thriving community, we find ourselves drawn to the intricate labyrinth of earthen mounds and plazas that tell of daily life, ritual, and commerce. The Olmecs, often referred to as the mother civilization of the Americas, laid the groundwork for future cultures, influencing the Maya and Aztecs in ways that are still being uncovered. The ceremonial centers and plazas are not mere remnants of public life, but sacred spaces imbued with cosmic significance, where the heavens and earth converged in ritual dance. Yet beneath this majestic city lies an even deeper mystery. Excavations have revealed buried structures, artifacts, and even signs of sophisticated drainage systems, suggesting not only a complex urban design but also an understanding of engineering that challenges our conception of ancient civilizations. How did the Olmecs manage such engineering feats without the modern tools we take for granted? Could they have possessed knowledge lost to time, or perhaps a connection to the Earth's energies that we can only dream of comprehending? In the heart of La Venta, the remnants of a vast ceremonial complex beckon us closer. Here, shaped from the very soil of the land, a series of altars and platforms rise, their purpose both sacred and utilitarian. One such altar, believed to be dedicated to the jaguar, the embodiment of power and ferocity, hints at the Olmec's deep spiritual beliefs. The jaguar was not merely an animal, but a revered deity, symbolizing transformation and the duality of existence. The Olmec ritual of the jaguar, a transformative dance between man and beast, may have been performed here, a performance of identity that united the community in an embrace of their shared beliefs. But with these discoveries comes the haunting question: what led to the decline of La Venta? As we sift through the layers of time, we glimpse signs of upheaval, evidence of violent conflict, environmental changes, and perhaps even a shift in trade routes that strained this once prosperous city. The great mounds that once served as the backdrop to vibrant ceremonies now stand as silent sentinels, watching over a landscape that has long since changed. The end of La Venta is as shrouded in mystery as its beginning. Did the Olmecs abandon this sacred ground willingly, or were they driven from it by forces beyond their control? The whispers of the ancestors echo still in the soil, mingling with the winds that sweep across the ruins, as if urging us to listen closely to the secrets that lie beneath. As the sun sets and casts long shadows over the ancient stones, we are reminded of the indomitable spirit of the Olmecs. Their legacy, though obscured by time, is a reminder of the connection between the past and the present, urging us to honor the stories of those who came before us. In La Venta, we find not just the remains of a lost city, but the pulse of a civilization that continues to resonate, a testament to the enduring allure of the mysteries that lie beneath our feet, waiting for those brave enough to seek them. In the heart of the Gulf Coast of Mexico, where the verdant jungles wrap around the remnants of a once mighty civilization, whispers of the Olmec's fall echo through the ages. The towering basalt heads, silent sentinels of a bygone era, seem to gaze into the void, pondering how such grandeur could dissipate into the mists of time. The very soil of San Lorenzo, La Venta, and other sites cradles the secrets of their decline, as if the land itself mourns the loss of its creators. It is the 9th century BCE, a time when the Olmecs, hailed as the mother civilization of Mesoamerica, were at their zenith. Their influence stretched like the roots of the trees that enveloped their ceremonial centers, reaching far beyond the limits of their own territories. Yet, the very foundations of their society were beginning to tremble, as complex as the interwoven designs of their intricate jade carvings. What led to this gradual descent from brilliance to obscurity? Contemporary archaeologists have unearthed layers of evidence at San Lorenzo, once a bustling hub of Olmec life. Here, the remnants of monumental architecture loom large, but the signs of turmoil are stark. Evidence of a sudden change in population patterns has emerged, with the remains of structures being hastily abandoned. Did internal strife tear the fabric of their society apart? Was it a struggle for power amongst the elite, as kings and priests vied for supremacy, leading to fractures in their social order? The gods that the Olmecs revered, represented through jaguar motifs and celestial symbols, might have turned their faces away in disfavor. A study of pollen samples taken from the region reveals a significant decline in the diversity of flora, suggesting that environmental factors played a pivotal role in this civilization's unraveling. The climate was changing. Droughts and floods began to plague the land, disrupting agricultural practices that were the very lifeblood of the Olmecs. The rubber trees that once overflowed with latex, symbolizing both wealth and sustenance, became scarce, leading to the loss of trade and cultural connections. As the heavens shifted and the rains diminished, the Olmecs found themselves ensnared in a web of desperation. Archaeological evidence points to a dramatic shift in their diet, with a move away from staple crops like maize. Instead, a haphazard collection of wild plants and foraged goods filled their tables, suggesting a society grappling with scarcity. The great ball courts, once venues for ritual and sport, fell silent as the populace turned inward, battling the specters of famine. In the midst of this decline, new powers began to emerge. The Zapotecs of Monte Alban and the Mixtecs, once mere shadows on the Olmec stage, grew in confidence and capability. They would eventually rise to prominence, fueled by the very innovations the Olmecs had pioneered. The Olmecs, who had once sculpted the narrative of civilization in Mesoamerica, now found themselves outpaced by rivals who absorbed and adapted their traditions, twisting them into new forms. La Venta, another Olmec stronghold, bore witness to the shifting tides of fate. The grand pyramid that had once been a focal point for worship and trade became a relic of remembrance as the populace dwindled. The meticulously crafted offerings buried within its confines spoke of reverence for the past, yet they also hinted at a society grasping at the remnants of its former glory. Sculptures of jaguars and serpents, once symbols of power, now lay buried beneath layers of earth, waiting for the day they would be uncovered and admired anew. In this epoch of decline, the Olmec elite clung desperately to their traditions, performing rituals that echoed the grandeur of their ancestors. Yet the vibrancy of their culture waned. The glyphs that adorned their ceremonial spaces grew less frequent, hints of literacy fading as oral traditions took precedence. Knowledge that had once been shared through art and stone became lost in the fog of time, a language that slipped through their fingers like sand. By the turn of the 4th century BCE, the Olmec civilization was a shadow of its former self, its cities abandoned, its accomplishments overshadowed by the burgeoning cultures that rose in their wake. The very essence of what made the Olmecs a pivotal force in the Americas began to dissolve, leaving behind only the enigmatic heads, monuments to a people who had once shaped the very landscape of Mesoamerica. The fall of the Olmecs is a tale of hubris and humility, of nature's relentless power, and of the relentless march of time. As the sun sets behind the ancient ruins, the colossal stone heads stand resolute, guardians of a mystery that may never be fully unraveled. They invite us to ponder not just the fate of a civilization, but the delicate balance of human existence, a reminder that even the mightiest can fall, and from their ashes new worlds may rise. In the dense, verdant jungles of southern Mexico, where the sun filters through a tapestry of leaves, whispers of ancient civilization still linger among the shadows. The Olmecs, known as the Rubber People, shrouded in mystery, left behind a legacy that ripples through the annals of history, echoing far beyond their time. As we wander through the vestiges of their monumental creations, we find that their influence is woven into the very fabric of later Mesoamerican cultures, appearing as an intricate pattern whose origins are obscured by the passage of time. The colossal heads, each a sentinel of the past, stand resolute at sites like San Lorenzo and La Venta, gazing into the abyss of history. Crafted from basalt, some weighing over 20 tons, these sculptures are not mere relics. They are a testament to the Olmec's advanced understanding of stonework and artistry. But beyond their physical presence lies a deeper enigma. What inspired such monumental efforts? Could it have been the divine? Perhaps these heads represented rulers, or even deities, their very forms invoking reverence and power. As we delve into the echoes of their influence, we must consider the cultural innovations that the Olmecs imparted to their successors. The Maya, who flourished centuries later, adopted and adapted many Olmec practices, from the sacred ball game to the intricate calendrical systems. The Olmec calendar, with its precise astronomical alignments, served as a precursor to systems that would dominate Mesoamerican timekeeping. The Maya, inheritors of this wisdom, would later build their own intricate calendars, marking sacred days with rituals that owed their genesis to the Olmec's profound understanding of celestial cycles. In the realm of political and social structures, the Olmecs established frameworks of governance that would resonate throughout Mesoamerica. Archaeological evidence from sites like Tres Zapotes suggests that the Olmecs practiced complex forms of leadership, likely blending religious authority with political power. This duality would be mirrored in the governance of later civilizations, including the Aztecs, who also revered their leaders as divine beings, furthering the Olmec tradition of intertwining the sacred with the secular. The intricate artistry of the Olmecs, evident in their jade carvings and pottery, would also leave an indelible mark on later cultures. The motifs and iconography found in Olmec art, jaguars, serpents, and deities, would resurface in the artistic expressions of the Maya and Aztecs, creating a visual language rich with symbolism and interwoven with the myths of creation and power. The Olmecs, through their artistic prowess, set a precedent that would endure for millennia, echoing through the ages in the works of their descendants. Yet, the most profound mystery of the Olmecs lies not solely in their tangible achievements, but in their disappearance, a sudden vanishing act that left scholars and archaeologists yearning for answers. Though some speculate that environmental shifts, such as flooding or drought, played a role in their decline, the Olmecs' cultural legacy persisted much like the faint echo of a melody long after the musician has departed. Their influence can be traced in the religious practices that emphasized rituals centered around maize, the sacred crop that sustained life across Mesoamerica. The reverence for maize, with its ties to creation myths, was a belief system that blossomed in Olmec soil and would later be embraced by civilizations like the Maya and the Aztecs. These cultures would elevate maize to a central role in their cosmology, celebrating its significance through elaborate ceremonies and offerings, a practice that echoes the Olmec essence, even centuries after their civilization faded from the historical stage. Archaeological investigations continue to unearth remnants of the Olmec world, revealing that their society was more sophisticated than once imagined. The discovery of rubber ball courts and evidence of trade networks indicates a complex societal framework that allowed for economic exchange and cultural diffusion. These elements suggest that the Olmecs were not merely isolated, but were part of a larger tapestry of interconnected civilizations that would rise and fall, each woven together by threads of influence. As we reflect on the Olmecs, we are reminded that their story is not one of mere disappearance, but of transformation. They were the architects of a legacy that would shape the very essence of Mesoamerican identity. The echoes of their civilization resound in the traditions, beliefs, and artistic expressions of those who followed, blurring the lines between past and present, between the known and the unknown. In this great expanse of time, the Olmecs remain an unsolved enigma, their story a haunting melody that plays on, whispering through the leaves of the jungle, an eternal reminder of the giants who once walked these lands. The colossal heads stand as witnesses to their enduring influence, their silent gazes still searching for answers, still echoing through the chambers of history.